Hello, I'm James McDade. I'm a new student at Clemson University. I'm a pre-business major, and this is my new student dialogue. The dialogue workshop I attended was the power of privilege, and let's get into it. I do think that during our group discussion we did achieve dialogue. It wasn't a debate because no one was trying to prove sides. It wasn't a discussion really because we all took turns and everybody respected each other's opinions. So I do think it was dialogue. We all worked together to try to come upon what was the truth of the topic that was being discussed, which was how the power of privilege shapes society. So we started going over stuff, and some of the we started talking about how social groups, which are collective groups of people who share ideas, practices, or ways of life. We talked about how they had a lot of power in society. Some examples of these groups are like race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, socioeconomic status, age, ability, national origin, or first language. We talked about how if you were members of certain groups, you had way more power than other groups, like their dominant races and religions and things like that. And we talked about how these groups sort of set the stage for discrimination, like on an individual scale, and also in the institutions and structures. These groups, they can discriminate against individuals just if they have differing ideas, which isn't really positive because it damages people. It also, institutional discrimination, like if you're a member of a certain group and you go to apply for a job or something and you get the job but you're different than everyone else, you'll be discriminated against. And then structural, which is sort of the same thing. Actually, structural is in the job market. It's both structural and institutional. These groups also open the way for oppression, but it's not just the groups, it's also the individuals. Exploitation, they can if you're smarter, if they perceive you as smarter or having less social power, they can exploit you and get you to do stuff for them just based on your status. Marginalization, they can completely deny you from something based on your group or your beliefs or something like that. And they can also make you feel, they can use powerlessness, which will make you feel like you don't have any say or pull in the society just because of your views or the group that you belong to. They can try to convert you with cultural imperialism, which they try to assimilate you into their group. And they can even use violence, which can intimidate you, threaten you, in order to assimilate you into their group. So privileges really do have a big pull on society, and the dominant social group has the most privileges, and they benefit the group in power. And so some of the groups I belong to, I'm a Christian, I'm Caucasian, Scotch-Irish, I'm a middle class as far as economics go, I'm a male, I'm heterosexual as sexual orientation, I'm 19 years old, I'm from America, my first language was English. And so some of these things give me my status, sort of, but they sort of determine who I am as far as society sees me. So in the group there were active voices, several people did most of the talking, but they didn't dominate the conversation, which kept the dialogue aspect of it in play. There were reserved voices, but like I said, they were allowed to express their views and they weren't told they were wrong. It's just that people have different views, but no one went out of their way to smash someone else's view. In the group, I was sort of more reserved, just because I don't really like talking in front of people a lot. But I did get to say some of my views, and people accepted those, I felt like, so that's okay. Um, I think this dialogue is important, just because it's thought provoking as to like the issues, and as you focus on an issue, it becomes important to you, and so you're more willing to act on it. As far as this as a useful tool in my university experience, it's not really, I guess. I mean, it is thought provoking, but it's not totally necessary. Like as far as just being in everyday life, you're eventually going to see these issues, and you're eventually going to have to act on them. So that's how I feel about that. Let's see. So yeah, I think that's it. Privileges really affect society, can give you power or take it away from you, but just as long as you don't abuse it, I don't think privileges are something that we can take away from society. It's just a matter of convincing people to use them responsibly.